all, and welcome to this. And this is, of course, my review for TNA's Destination X, which happened, I guess, last night, as I'm making this kind of early in the morning. But anyways, work kind of kicked my butt today, so I watched the pay-per-view, took a nap, woke up. Now I'm going to make the video. But anyways, before I do that, I have something, there's been something that's gnawing at me. You know those things that just kind of happen and they're like, they're just things that just, they're pet peeves, I guess is what they would be. I'm going to talk about this before I talk about the pay-per-view, because hopefully more people will see this if I talk about it before the pay-per-view. But this has to do with people commenting on videos. Is it really necessary for people to or I shouldn't say necessary. Why is it that you look at comments on a video and people find it necessary to say almost the exact same comment as something somebody had said before on the video? Do people not read through the comments before they post their comment and go, oh, look, this guy is going to say the same thing I was going to say, or notice the same thing in the video I noticed, and maybe I'll just do a reply to him, or maybe something, or hey, I don't need to mention this. Somebody already has. Because not just on my videos, but on numerous wrestling videos, not just on wrestling videos, but just about every type of video you can find here on YouTube, the same shit happens all the time. Where you'll see, and I'm not talking about, look, I know YouTube's comment system sucks donkey dick. I understand that. I understand that you will get people who will talk about the same thing, but if it's all grouped, but you know, that's, if it's YouTube's fault, it will all be grouped within like the same, 15, 20 minutes, or maybe the first like 5 posts. People might talk about the same thing over each other. Not, days apart, which happens. Or not people talking about noticing the same flaws in a video and continually talking about it down the comment system, like no one else has pointed it out before. It's one of those things that just really annoys me. It's one of those things I noticed on not on my videos, but just on a lot of just about everybody's videos. And it's just like, do you people even read the comments? Is it so much if you're going to comment on a video to read the rest of the comments and just see what other people have said? Or are people just lazy? I don't get it. It's just one of those little pet peeve things. This really just kind of came to just a head with me on the last video I did, because I did the video and then I posted it and I knew what had happened. I knew that Andrew Martin Test had died, but I didn't know all the facts, so I wasn't going to talk about it. And I still don't know a lot of the facts, so I'm not going to talk about it. And all these people continually posted it. Oh my God, did you hear about Test? Oh my God, Test died. Did you hear about, all of these people who continually, like, they were the first ones to bring up the fact that Test had died. And it's like, do you people read the comments? Do you not see that other people have talked about this? And I know people were probably upset. People were like, oh my God, he died. And that might sound cold of me, but come on, folks. Just read the comments before you post. I don't think that's a hard thing to do. I really don't. And if you don't know how the comment system works, figure it out. It's not hard. It's not brain surgery. Anyways, let's get on with the review now. I have ranted about that long enough. So here we go. Destination X. Yeah. This was, I asked myself, I believe on the last video in which I talked about Gail Kim and TNA bringing in the Survivor chick and the pay thing and all of that, and just talked about that, and I said, does anyone really give a damn about this pay-per-view? I don't think they did, and here's why. Because usually when I get on Skype and we start talking about the pay-per-view and watching the pay-per-view, which we all watch it together, there's usually at least maybe four of us. There were 2 of us. There was me and Dirty White Boy. That's for those of you that always wonder why when we do videos we say a lot of the same things. It's not that we're copying each other. It's not that he's copying me. Some people have said that before. I would like to specify that is not the case. It's because usually me and him wind up watching a lot of the pay-per-views together. And as we're watching the pay-per-views together, we're throwing out ideas, we're making comments, and so, hey, I steal comments from him, he steals comments from me. It's all just one big, huge, jumblation of gumbo of ideas about pro wrestling, and it all just comes out. So we do say a lot of the same things, just to clear that up. There was only 2 of us the whole night. There was only 2 of us. And you know what? I'm glad the others weren't on, because they saved themselves from this wretched piece of shit. Because that is what this was, a horrible pay-per-view. I don't know, I seriously doubt this pay-per-view got many buys. I think TNA phoned this shit in, because this shit sucked. This was like, I've actually, and I would agree with this, the last month, I would say there have been impacts better than the shit they put on tonight. This was for 3 hours of wrestling. This sucked. This sucked ass. Really, it did. This was bad news. Let's get started. Let's get started with this. We had, and I forgot about this match, we had the beautiful people of Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, the new Velvet Sky, and Madison Rain, or not Velvet Sky, but Madison Rain, the new member, who looked very skanky and not very beautiful people, I must say. The beautiful people look, you know, they don't look skanky, they just look, you know, hot. And Madison looked more skanky than hot. But they're taking on Taylor Wilde, ROXXI, and the Governor, because, you know, that idea worked out so well. So, yes, we got the Governor wrestling on the pay-per-view. Yay. In the opener, I was like, why is this the fucking opener? But, anyways, this was okay. This was an okay, you know, it wasn't a great opener. I wouldn't even call it a good opener, but it was an okay match. Went out there. They didn't have a bad match. They actually had a match that was probably better than, you know, a lot of the stuff we finally got a match that, you know, I would say either on par or as good as some of the stuff we see from the Divas, which is sad because, you know, at one point, you know, we looked forward to the knockouts. A lot of people thought that they should have 2 matches on a pay-per-view because they were actually pretty good. And they put on good matches, and they were kind of like the X Division, where you knew, hey, you're probably going to get either an okay or good match, and probably a fairly good women's match, all things considered. And now it's just like, good God, you know, when they have just even an okay match, it's like, wow, that was finally good. But anyways, then Brutus Magnus came out, put an open challenge. Yes, there was apparently not enough wrestling on this pay-per-view. And there wasn't enough wrestling on this pay-per-view. I will get to that. I will get to that shit. Came out, issued an open challenge. So Eric Young. Yes, Eric Young came out. And Eric Young came out and challenged Brutus Magnus. You know, Eric Young, who had just main evented, basically, had the main event match, though not the main event angle, on Impact, came out and took on Brutus Magnus and jobbed. Yes, another semi-top, you know, guy that had been in the company for a while, who was fairly over, jobbed to this guy who was not very good. Eric Young did the best I would say he could do with this. This was okay, fairly just okay match. And then, as you know, you can see on my reviews, I gave the first match 2.25. I gave this match 2 stars, and it went fucking downhill. Now you may be asking yourself, how the fuck does this go downhill? You will understand. You will understand. Those were maybe highlights of this pay-per-view. Yes, those were highlights of this pay-per-view. Yes, explain to me this. Well, Sheik Abdul came out, yay! Talking about how, you know, why wasn't he on the pay-per-view? You know, that, you know, Obama had been hope, but there was no hope for him. TNA was racist. This was a fucking Impact segment on a pay-per-view, which sucked ass, and would even suck ass later on, because we had another fucking Impact moment segment on pay-per-view, but we will get to that one in a minute. Came out, then that brought Jim Cornette out. Jim Cornette basically came out. Honestly, if this had been on Impact, this would have been fine. This would have been enjoyable, but the fact that it was on a pay-per-view sucked ass. Okay, Jim Cornette came out and said, I don't like you, the fans don't like you, nobody likes you, please leave. He left, or he didn't leave, but they brought up some sailor guy. The sailor guy came out and sung a very bad rendition of God Bless America. It was, you know, like I said, if this had been on Impact, it would have been fine. If this wasn't on Impact, this was on a fucking pay-per-view. What the fuck? Anyways, then we had Matt Morgan versus Abyss, 10,000 thumbtacks. This was not good. This was just very plotting. Just the ending segment was bad. Yuck. Then we had Awesome Kong versus SOJO Bolt, At some point, I really expect Awesome Kong to go fuck this shit and actually start legit stiffing the shit out of some of these girls by going, why am I in the ring with these pieces of shit? And just start, you know, kicking, punching, legit punching, just going MMA on their asses and going, maybe the fans would enjoy this more. And I think they would, because I think legitly her killing people, I think people would like. But this match sucked. Then we had Win a Date with ODB. This was wretched. This was wretched. Now, I'm sure some people enjoyed this. I'm sure. In some perverse, fucked up way. This was wretched, folks. This was wretched. I can't even explain. This was just so bad. So bad. It was an excuse for Vince Russo just to get every fucking dick joke, sex joke he probably could fit on pay-per-view out, and he did, and it was just wretched. This belonged on Impact. If this had been on Impact, this would have probably been funny, maybe still bad, but it'd been, you know, Crash TV bad. This is on a pay-per-view, and this was like a long segment. This wasn't short. This was long. They came out and they basically did the ODB version of the dating game, where they danced. They talked about why she should pick her, and what else did they do? They did something else that I can't even remember. And yeah, this was basically a way for them to put over an indie guy that they had under contract for I don't know for how long. And what's even worse is, remember when ODB was kind of fun? Remember when ODB was kind of cool? Because she was like a female version, very much not to the star level, of course, but as far as a character, she was a female version of Steve Austin. She was just like a hard-nosed, you know, take no shit broad, and that was cool. I didn't necessarily like it, but it was cool, and it had its moments. And now it's like she's a parody of that, to where she's just like white trash, typical Jerry Springer, and this was like a Jerry Springer crap, which I just cannot stand anyways. Shit, I mean, I remember she was like one of the most over knockouts, and now she's just like a bad parody of herself, and I feel sorry for her, because she used to be really, you know, fun. Even when I didn't understand why she was incredibly over the way she was, I understood why she was at least over, and I thought that she was at least fun to watch. She's not even fun to watch. She comes out, and I just cringe. Ugh, this was fucking terrible, is what this was. This was fucking terrible. But there was a bright side, because it was like, oh, we're gonna get SAMOA JOE versus Scott Steiner now. And I was like, maybe Joe will come out, because, you know, Scott Steiner has had good matches with people. To this, you know, he can still go out there and somehow pull out a good match. I figured Joe could go out there and put on a good match. And Steiner came out, and then Joe came out. Folks, SAMOA JOE is officially dead. You know, he's been my favorite wrestler for probably 4 years now. Matt, at 3 to 4 years. Well, 3 to 4 years, he's probably my favorite wrestler. Not anymore. Not now. You know, if he had been in WWE, he would have been sent home, told to lose weight, told to heal his back, heal his knees, which is one of the reasons why he is ballooned up, why he's gained weight, and come back in shape and all of that, and it would have been okay. In TNA, he leaves. He's still doing house shows. We haven't seen him wrestle on TV. He comes out. He's got the little penis on his face, so he's now crushed SAMOA JOE. He has now shaved off his hair, so he's now bald, or a buzz cut, and he came out with, like, parachute pants on. He looked fucking ridiculous. I was like, holy shit, what happened to SAMOA JOE? Where was the guy that I used to love? Where was the guy, and not only that, he looked huge. He looked so out of shape it wasn't funny. It was like, where was the guy that we all wanted to see take on Misawa? Not the guy that looked like he ate Misawa. Literally. This, and not only that, he comes out, you know, did the best he could for 2 minutes, and then there was a DQ. This was a fucking dud, They fucking brawled out. Joe, like, they, like, went outside the arena, and the fans were following him. This sucked ass. This was so fucking stupid. It was like, holy shit. I was actually looking forward to seeing Joe on pay-per-view again, and this is what the fuck you give me? Fuck you, TNA. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. That's what I have to say to you. You just ruined my favorite. I mean, and maybe this was Joe's idea. If this was Joe's idea, I still don't give a shit. Because TNA, you let him fucking do it. Fuck you. Okay. Then, AJ Styles versus Booker T. And I was like, well, maybe AJ will actually, like Booker T will finally actually want to wrestle and actually put on a good match in TNA. And maybe AJ will go out there and actually save this pay-per-view. He went out and put a good match. Didn't fucking save this pay-per-view. I don't know what the fuck would have saved this pay-per-view. Literally, I don't know if you could have somehow time traveled, stuck Ric Flair and freaking Ricky Steamboat in their primes, in the main, somewhere on this card, giving them 30 minutes, and I don't think it would have fucking saved this pay-per-view. I just would like to state that. Anyways, they went out there, they had an okay match, or a good match, I should say. This was actually a good match. AJ went over about 4 months too late, and won a title that no one gives a shit about. He almost killed Booker, by the way, trying to do the Styles Clash. AJ came, he delivered the goods. Booker T actually put on a fairly okay performance, and this was a good 3-star match. Finally, we had something that was good on this fucking pay-per-view. Then we had Beer Money Inc. versus Team 3D. Of course, the stipulation was, Beer Money for the titles, Team 3D, if they, whoever pinned would be gone, that sort of thing. Went on, was a long match. Why they put Team 3D in fucking long matches? I understand they're going for the tag titles. They don't need to be in fucking long matches. 10 minutes is fine. Fuck. Anyways, they went out. Team 3D had the upper hand, so I can't remember. Was it Rude or Storm? I can't remember. Took his chair, hit freaking one of Team 3D with the chair and got purposely DQ'd, left. As he's leaving, Jim Cornette comes out and says, No! You wanted this match. And because you wanted this match, I'm restarting the match as a no DQ. I guess now Jim Cornette can I guess Jim Cornette can't restart main event Mafia matches. I guess that's the deal. Anyways, so they restarted the match, and then the match ends anyways in a freaking countout. Fuck you, TNA. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. That's what I have to say to that. Shit, that was no fun. Then we had the Ultimate X. I was like, finally, we did Ultimate X. And it fucking, maybe I'm overrating this. Maybe I'm overrating this match because of how shitty the rest of this pay-per-view was. But, I fucking forgot. I fucking forgot that Joe killed Steiner. Yes, Joe's backstage. Or Lauren's backstage. She finds Joe. Joe has, like, mud. He looks like he has blood on him. The little dagger thing he has looks like it has blood on it. It looks like he's trailing blood. She keeps asking, where's Steiner? He keeps basically saying, fuck Steiner. Steiner's gone. He's not coming back. Joe murdered freaking Scott Steiner. Yes. But explain to me this. Anyways, yes, that happened. And of course, we never found out what happened to Scott. We never found out what happened to Scott for the rest of the pay-per-view. I shit you not. This was stupid. Anyways, Ultimate X. I was like, thank God we're finally going to get this match. And maybe I'm overrating this. I don't give a shit on this shit pay-per-view. This was great. I was like, thank you, God! And Suicide won. That was kind of surprising. And an amazing spot. Well, it was an amazing spot. He'd done the spot. Christopher Daniels had done the spot before. Coming off the top of one of the pole things and landing on the middle of the X and knocking everybody off and grabbing the title. It's a pretty good match. Had a lot of good spots. Let's see. Suicide. There was a Fallen Angel chant. Yes, there was a Fallen Angel chant during this. Yay to the fans. Anyways, Christopher Daniels took, I think it was Creed, and did a rolling slam off of the apron onto the other three guys. That was a pretty good spot. They did the Tower of Doom. They did the Machine Gun's new finisher, the sliced bread into the powerbomb thing. I can't remember what, Made in Detroit, I think is the name of it. It did that. That was pretty good. Let's see what else did they do. This is a fun match. It was great. I liked it, particularly on this pay-per-view. This was fucking great. But you know, 3 3/4 stars. You know, it still was probably a little too spotty, but it was, you know, it was what it was. Yeah, it was what it was. Anyways, there we go. Then we had the main event, Sting vs. Kurt Angle, which they tried to actually make seem like a big main event. They showed him like walking to the ring and had these nice video packages. And what the fuck? I think there was more video packages on this fucking pay-per-view than there was actually. I think if you take in-ring segments and video packages, I think there was more of those on this pay-per-view than wrestling. I really do. I have no idea. I don't time anything, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that would do that. That would be interesting to know. If what the fuck. But anyways, we had Sting versus Kurt Angle. This was much like their Bound for Glory 07 match, except not with the awesome second half. This was basically the boring first half with, let's see, what did we get? We got basically a screwjob ending with, let's see, Foley trying to hit Angle with a chair and hit Sting instead, but that didn't, but Sting still kicked out. It was how this leads to Sting versus Foley at Lockdown. I have no fucking clue. I thought we would get some sort of swerve. I was kind of disappointed we didn't get the swerve. Only in TNA do you get that. Well, I was kind of disappointed we didn't get the swerve. But anyways, this was crap. And yeah, or I shouldn't say crap. This was okay. It was a crap main event. That's for sure. This pay-per-view sucked ass. I would like, even with a 4-star match on it, even with a this is how bad this pay-per-view sucked. Even with a 4 fucking star match on this sucked ass. This sucked fucking ass. I have seen ECW, 1-hour ECW shows that were fucking better than this piece of shit. And I'm not just making that shit up. This fucking sucked. And I'm sure there's people out there that liked it. If you liked it, I'm sorry. But fuck, this sucked. This sucked hard fucking core. And yes, I'm gonna give it a probably higher rating than it deserves because there was a 4 fucking star match on this. But fuck it, this sucked. TNA, if you don't give a shit about your fans, if you're gonna put on these shit pay-per-views, stop putting on these shit pay-per-views and just put on 6 or 4 or whatever the fuck pay-per-views you want to put on. But fuck me. This was hard to fucking watch. And I know people say, well, why did you watch it? Well, I watched it because I didn't come on here and say I wasn't going to watch it, which meant I would have gotten, 50 emails a day saying, are you going to review Destination X? Are you going to review Destination X? And I was like, okay, well, I don't think this pay-per-view is going to be very good, but it'll probably be better than going through that crap. No, it wasn't. Going through trying to weed out and dealing with people asking for Destination X for fucking who knows what was not worth watching this fucking pay-per-view. And I seriously am debating on if I'm going to watch Lockdown or not. Because this shit sucked ass. This zapped the wrestling energy out of me. I didn't feel upset, and I'm upset now. I just felt like, what the fuck did I just watch this for? It was more enjoyable. I am not shitting you. It was more enjoyable to go to the Figure 4 Online message board and comment and read the comments people were going to. Me and Dirty White Boy were doing this, and we were rolling laughing at some of the comments and some of the shit people were saying. That was enjoyable. Watching this fucking bullshit of a pay-per-view was not enjoyable. This sucked dick, is what this did. And I'm saying that because I'm giving this a 5.5, only because it's got a 4-star match on it. It doesn't deserve a 5.5, I'll freely say that. But I feel you got a you got that on there. This probably deserves like I was going to say a 4.5, I'm sorry, a 5.5. This deserves really like a 3, probably. This was wretched. I don't know if I've ever seen, I shouldn't say that. Can't say that because there's Heroes of Wrestling, and Heroes of Wrestling tops everything. But literally, it's like, what the fuck were you trying to do, TNA? What was the purpose of the booking? Did you all sit around and think, oh, fuck, this is a good idea? Did nobody go, what the fuck is wrong with you people? What the fuck? Or did stuff just not click the way you thought of? Is there a lot of, like, injuries we don't know? What the fuck happened? This shit sucked. This shit sucked hard fucking core. Anyways, I'm done. I'm out. Everybody, have a good one. Do not watch this piece of shit. I'm just saying that right now. Do not watch it. Do not waste your time. Listen to the people that have watched it and warning you. Stay the fuck away. Put up the crucifix. Do whatever the fuck you gotta do. Do not watch this piece of shit. Do not buy this. Brandon, listen to me, Brandon. Do not do what you did with Hard Justice and buy this shit. Do not do it. Do not do it. I'm just telling you now. I'm just telling you now. Anyways, with that, I'm fucking out. Later.